Hey
Oh, hi,
guys, welcome
Ben.
back to the Backpackers Blitz. Hey Tim, it is episode 24, I believe. If we did our math right, should be episode 24. You guys are stuck with just two of us tonight, so Devin won't be here, and Chad is never here. So it's just me and Tim tonight. Before we get started, any of you guys in the chat that were with me and Tim, Tim and I, to use correct grammar, over the past
Yeah.
weekend, I want you guys to join us in the chat. I'll post a link in here. You guys can join us. We'll be talking quite a bit about that trip. So there's the link. If you were with us, I think I saw a few people, even if you got sick and you had to go home, Brian, if your uncle left us or got sick and had to leave with your uncle, what's his name again? Not Gus.
Uncle Glenn.
Uncle Glenn. That's it. Uncle Glenn.
He's now Uncle Gus, though.
Okay. Before we get on to that kind of stuff. So yeah, join us in the chat. I do want to talk about our bargain bin on our website really quickly. We have a bunch of gear in the bargain bin on our website. You can go visit the website and look through the shop now section. And you'll see a little bargain bin area, tons of gear, and we're putting stuff in there every single day. We are sending out an email every time we do a major upload to that bargain bin, but we do add stuff every single day. So definitely check that out if you're looking for any kind of cheap gear. I do want to talk about some holiday sales. Tim and I have been talking about this. The whole shop's been talking about it, about like Black Friday sales. And we're trying to decide how to handle that because, you know, sales and profit margins are a little goofy right now. So we're trying to decide if we're going to eventually raise prices because all of our costs are going up here. Do we raise our prices or do we kind of leave them where they are and not run any sales? Now, we've already talked to our buddy Chad over at UGQ. That's exactly what he's doing. So we are considering doing the same thing of not running that many sales. We are still going to do the bargain bin. We're still going to have some deals going on, but it won't be like a site-wide discount like we do every single year. It is getting tougher and tougher to make a profit. Profit margins getting squeezed because everything is going through the roof. So we'll talk about that more a little bit later on. But that is something we're thinking about. And still going to have the bargain bin, but won't be like a site-wide sale for the Black Friday. Tim, your thoughts on that?
I guess I would have to parrot most of your thoughts, but I think, yeah, we're just trying to keep everything transparent and honest, and that's what I like about Ben. Even the fact that he'll allow me to share my thoughts on this to all 19 of you. That's not a bad turnout for the two of us. Anyway, I think it's important.
On my end.
Yeah.
It must be blocking you.
Kind of like Ben put it, there are, lots of retailers out there that, they have to raise their prices and then basically offer a discount after they've raised their prices, which is kind of deceptive practice, in my opinion. And I believe that's kind of where Ben's thinking too, is the reality is that, yeah, margins have shrunk. And I like what Chad has been saying about things like, the craftsmanship. You think about all the like good vibe stuff he puts on some of his. And if you haven't read his posts, they're essentially saying, knowing who makes your gear or knowing that it's made by, a handful of people in a small shop, there's something really special about that. And before I started working here, I didn't really consider all the factors of everything from keeping the lights on to the fact that a bear bag from start to finish is going to touch 3 or 4 hands and, quite frankly, take up some labor time and the costs and all of that craftsmanship and things. Actually, I'm already laughing in my own head because I kind of included myself as a craftsman, but our craftsmen and women here, Amy and Amanda, and a small team is making the piece of gear that you're waiting for, and that does include me and Ben. So that time that goes into it, the energy and the economy right now just makes us have to do what we have to do to stay afloat. And rather than, raise our prices 10% and then give a 10% discount code and fool you all into thinking that's a good deal, what we offer for a good deal is just the simple fact that here we are in Pennsylvania putting a lot of thought into your gear. I mean, trust me, from every step of the way. I mean, even myself learning to do some Photoshop stuff and make sure that images on customized stuff is looking good. So I have to drag Ben away from what he's doing on a regular basis just to make sure that, the quality is up there for anything I don't know how to do. So just think of the extra cost I'm costing Ben, I guess.
You're doing a fine job, buddy.
I appreciate that. I'm rambling on, but I really do think it's important to just be absolutely honest about it. And Ben, maybe I've spurred more thoughts in your crazy brain, but
yeah. So just from a business standpoint, I mean, every year prices go up a little bit in every industry, every business. You're going to adjust 3% here, 5% there, maybe 10% over the course of a year. Everything's different. We have not raised prices. In fact, we actually lowered prices earlier in the year on some of our new D50T products because we got a better deal on the fabric and we actually passed those savings on to you guys. But here we are at the end of the year, prices are still going up. A lot of our inputs are still going up. And it's not just that, electricity here in their area is going through the roof. And so we're on the verge of having to raise prices, knowing that we have big sales coming up and we always have these 10% off deals. We're like, well, what if we just don't do the 10% off deals that we do once a month or a week, or I'm sorry, not once a week, once a month, or at the end of the year? What if we just don't do that? We just don't raise prices either. So it would kind of wash itself out and everybody wins. But how do you do that without explaining why you just didn't have a holiday sale? I don't. It's tricky. Chad is the one that kind of spurred this whole thing over at UGQ and may really reevaluate the numbers, because either I was going to have to do 10% off, 15% off, whatever, and then raise prices at the beginning of the year, or I don't do the sale and I don't raise prices at the beginning of the year. Because I really think we could sustain where we're at now and not raise prices next year if we don't do this sale. If we do 50% off, you got to think most small businesses, they're only getting 15, maybe 20% profit margin at best. So, when you do a 15% off sale, you're breaking even. You're doing it just for the exposure. You're not doing it to make a big profit. So it's a little tricky.
So and let me cut you off for a second, Ben, because I think I think I like the opportunity to do that once in a while, because you're anyway. I'm reading the comments, and it's dawning on me as I do it that we're actually really blessed just based on the comments I'm reading and the fact that we're preaching this to the wrong audience. The folks that are in this audience right now, I've seen 0 comments with lack of understanding for exactly where we're coming from. And I guess if I wanted to talk to those of you that are out there, if you could just, share some of these ideas with friends and things like that, because you guys are great. And Woodall mentioned the affiliate program. Chicken Little's an affiliate. Greg is an affiliate. Everyday Backpacker. All these guys are all affiliates. So we appreciate all of you, because Woodall brought it up. The affiliate program is something that's going to help everybody kind of steady the storm. And it's not just Hilltop Packs that is. I mean, we're still here, and Ben, bless his soul, is doing everything he can to fight to push through this tough time. But there's companies out there that are going to die in the next, 6 months to a year, I would assume. And I think it's really important to just talk openly about it as people that work in this industry, because we do this for the folks out there like you. Like, it's really tough to read all this. These comments and not get emotional over it, because you guys are an amazing part of what we do and are probably, I'll let Ben further this comment, but you guys, I know, are part of what built Hilltop Packs in the first place. So a big thank you to you, and back to you, Ben.
No, I just started reading the comments myself, and that is pretty wild. I guess I've been trying to convince myself more than you guys that it's the right move, because we have done, we have a little pop-up 10% off on the website we did forever. We recently just took that down because it was starting to eat into what little profit we have left. And we're on the verge of, again, like I said, raising prices. We're like, let's just take that down and not raise prices. And that it has kind of worked. And so then now the holiday sale's coming up. So again, I'm trying to convince myself more than you guys. And I certainly appreciate it. The affiliate programs, it may seem like we're giving up a lot because you earn some money with an affiliate, plus your customer gets a discount, but that's advertising. That's an advertising cost to us, because you're out there talking about us, you're sharing links. That is an advertising thing. So even if it's a wash, like we break even, that is still an amazing advertising opportunity for new customers. So please keep pushing the affiliate program if you want. Don't feel bad for us. That actually helps us tremendously. Believe me. New customers.
I'm glad you brought that up, Ben, because that's just it. We still want you guys to offer your discounts through your affiliate programs and use your discounts on your own. Like Ben said, that's an important part of like the outreach of how we, shoot our spider web even further. And again, I will testify to working here long enough and knowing Ben long enough to know this is not about Ben buying a yacht someday.
Don't look out back behind the building.
And he's so damn humble that he would never bring this up, but none of us make a ton of money here, but we all, and I'm one of the rookies, and I all in total have been here almost 4 years, but everybody else has been here since the beginning 6 years ago. And it's a place we all want to continue to work, and we don't need to get rich off of it. But it's a crazy time, and I think we're going to make it because Ben's an evil genius. But
so you're saying $9 an hour is not enough? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, I have some side gigs, some side hustles. I make $30 to $40 a month on YouTube, and then Feet Finder, as Greg Morton that's another $25 or less a month from Feet Finder. There's still some traffic there. But feet sales, feet pick sales are way down as well. I think my traffic is significantly decreased. And I'm spending twice the amount of money on pedicures. So, man, it's rough all the way around.
I knew the show was going to struggle without Devin.
and yes, Bruce, I should say too, I do make more than $9 an hour,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, of course, it's, I would love to do more. And we do plan to do more in the future, of course. So, got to stay in business first. It's just a weird year. And every vendor I know that's in our space is going through kind of the same thing. And it's really, business is good. Like, you guys are buying stuff. It's just the profit margins are getting squeezed to the point where if we keep raising prices anymore, you guys are not going to want to buy this stuff. That's what gets tricky. So we have to balance some things. And I think the discount part of it is, but the good part is we actually make a lot of mistakes around here and we save all those mistakes and we put them in the bargain bin. So there's still a lot of bargain bin gear in there. We do a lot of overruns. We do bigger jobs. We have pieces that are cut wrong. Maybe the printer didn't work right. We save all that throughout the year and we cut it up and make it smaller items, wallets and things like that. So bargain bin is always going to be, that's always going to be a massive discount. But so definitely check that out. Okay, I think we talked enough about.
Before we move on to the one more positive spin on this, this is a perfect transition though, Mr. McMillan. We're gonna talk about Hilltop on the Hill, which is an event we just had. But one of my greatest supporters is in the comment section, Mr. Jason from Cycle Works. We'll talk to him a little bit, hopefully.
He should be in here.
More importantly, Jason. Put a yes. He's in here somewhere.
No,
let's
click
the
link. Join the chat. Get in here.
Join the chat, Jason. Come on.
If you're with us, join the chat. Click the link and join us.
And also don't feel all of Ben's peer pressure if you're just feeling sheepish or if you're not wearing pants. But back to my point, put a little vote down here, all of you that are still with us. Somebody came up with a great idea based on the fact that Ben said we make a lot of mistakes around here. And I'm surprised he didn't name me personally.
It was implied.
There was a great idea pitched out there that is, again, probably one of my future mistakes. But if we had an entire section on the website just called Tim's Terrible Ideas, put a yes or no if you think that's a great idea. Yes, if you think there should be a section of the website of Tim's Terrible Ideas, or maybe / Tim's Mistakes. Here's my biggest supporter right here. Oh, Mickey too. Welcome, fellas. So, Jason, were you listening in on the Tim's Terrible Ideas? Are you still with me on that?
Oh man, I probably missed you while I was trying to get in there. What did you say?
Well, I was kissing your ass a little bit, saying that you were my biggest supporter on. Tim said in here tassels. So we won't dive too deeply into detail, but I toyed with putting some tassels on some items, and Jason thought that there was something there. So do I. Ben immediately did not even offer explanation when I pitched this idea to him. He just texted no. But anyway, welcome.
I'm there for the tassels.
Thank you, buddy.
Can you just tell everybody? Go ahead and tell everybody about the tassel idea because they have no idea what you're talking about.
So we're working with basically no, not pasties. It's going to be more well, the tassels aren't functional, but we've been doing prototypes with hip belt pockets or just accessories in general. And I sewed one up with this vision of it looking like a leather. Before you get too far, let me paint the picture. Think Yellowstone cowboy or a Harley Davidson kind of look, and it would have equally as masculine tassels. Of course, in ultralight fabric, so you would hardly even notice they're there. But just imagine the looks you would get walking down the trail with a couple of saddlebags on your hip belt that look like like you're riding a horse.
Or Dyneema chaps with Fireball printed on it. Assless chaps and the tassels.
Well, I mean, that's probably not going to happen either, Mickey. But I like the idea. Ben and I talked about chaps for a new Venom fabric, which has a sleek, almost leathery look to it. But chaps,
have Tim,
2027.
The other Tim Bennett, why don't you join us in the chat too as well, buddy? And Brian, you can jump in. You were here for a little bit anyway. Here's the link again, guys. Join us in here.
It's interesting, in my industry, and I'm at a kind of a pop-up event. I'm still in Western Pennsylvania, by the way, guys. I'm just a little north of you.
Okay.
And in our cigar industry, as I said, is so similar. There's this race to the bottom. And, when you give a discount, is there something else you can do with that? Are you leaving money on the table, or is that some kind of money you can either do that, for a grab for attention? And also, when you have something that you buy once, it's like in my industry, we have cigars, right? So you smoke them. And I think somebody on the trip asked me after I got out of the Polaris if I did humidors, what you put them in. I'm like, no, you can't smoke humidors, right? So
You ain't trying hard enough.
right. And the quality of a Hilltop pack it's going to be there for a long time. So, I mean, would you want to buy a life preserver on discount? I don't know. So, as long as there's not this race to the bottom, it's
That's a good point, Mickey. And before we move forward, let's introduce you, bud. Everybody on the screen. So Jason, I'll have you introduce yourselves. I don't need to give you your biographies, but quick name, where you from. Jason, you have a business. Bring that up. Mickey, you too. And then whoever this new guy is that you brought on, we'll save him for last. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, so I'm from South Central PA, York County. I own a bicycle shop, The Cycle Works. We're a Hilltop Packs dealer.
And an all-around good guy. Mickey, you are a cigar dude. Give us a 30-second rendition of who Mickey is.
Yeah, so I live in Havertown in Delco, where they talk out of the jowls of their mouth and eat hoagies sitting on the stoop drinking a Yingling. And I'm currently, what city am I in right now? Aaron, what city am I in?
Mickey's already showing his character.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I travel so much. What city am I in?
Thank you, Loafer X.
Yeah, but what city? Oh, I'm in Jeanette, Pennsylvania. So
okay.
I started the week in Waynesburg, and that's it. I'm sorry. Yeah. There you go.
And you are the owner or founder of All Saints Cigars, correct?
Owner and founder of All Saints Cigars. Long history. That's all for another. But yeah, I haven't hiked with any of these guys, but I did camp with them.
Yeah.
So Tim, once you can explain that, I'll let you do it, Tim. Go ahead.
We can't skip this new guy here. So Brain Wine Bun, Brian Winburn. Did I get the name right? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, perfect.
Welcome to the show. So Brian is a old friend of the show, and I've had the privilege of meeting him a couple times. Ben finally got to meet him, and his uncle Glenn, or Gus, has been
old Gus.
But we missed you, buddy. So Uncle Gus got a little bit of the we don't need the details of what happened to Uncle Gus, but he got sick.
He did.
Yeah, it stinks.
He's better now.
Well, you're from Kentucky, correct?
That's right.
And a hell of a good man, and we're gonna go on many more trips to come. So we'll take a rain check on Uncle Gus's crippling diarrhea.
So Tim, real quick, why don't you explain to everybody what we actually did? In case there's some new people in the chat who don't know what we just did this past weekend.
So we are dabbling in group events, mostly based around just socializing and camaraderie. And so Ben and I put together Hilltop on the Hill, which is we had the most amazing host on the face of the planet named Shane, who has like 900 acres right around Waynesburg here. And basically it was all about just getting some people together, sitting around a campfire and getting to know one another, some old friends, some new friends. And it was an amazing time. We were, if Brian and Uncle Gus would have showed up, we would have had like 13 or 14. I think we had 11 or 12. Doesn't matter. More than we expected. And it's something that we want to kind of, touch on in the future. We're going to try to do like a spring event and another fall event next year. We'd love to get into little things like teaching people how to backpack, even, like little classes or perhaps guided tours. All at little or no cost, hopefully. I guess it depends on how intricate tours would ever grow. But, for now, just basically grow the community because it's an amazing community. And that was the whole point. And we'd like to grow in the future. So we're going to do this event again. There was hot dogs provided. There was water brought up. Mickey got a ride. Chad drove to the top. So there's options for, people of all skill levels. Short hike, and man, it was just a barrel of laughs the whole damn time. We did have an open house the night before, which Mr. Brian made it to, and that was equally as fun. But yeah, next year I think we'll probably do 2 nights, 3 days, because we wanted to spend a little more time in the woods than we did, because it was just seemed like this fun was just getting started when we all had to kind of pack up and head out. Go ahead, Ben. What do you got to add?
No, so you're right. I want it to be a social event, and we're going to keep it as free or cheap as possible. We're not going to get like sponsors or anything like that. We're just going. We have a guy who has a lot of property who's willing to do a lot of work, and he's willing to bring up firewood for us to the top of the hill. Obviously, there's no water up there, so he's going to help us carry water up there. And Hilltop is paying him a small fee to do that. And he's just a super nice guy. He's retired, does a lot of work. He just enjoys giving back to his community. And he has no problem giving back to this community as well. So I do think, like Tim said, next year we're going to do 3 days and 2 nights. It'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This year we kind of combined it with our open house. We won't do that next year. But maybe we'll open up the shop on Sunday. So on your way out, you can maybe stop by and take a tour of Hilltop Packs if you want. But we'll have a better plan next year too. So whenever you come down, if you don't want to leave with us, drive down there, you can just show up at the trailhead at any time. We didn't have it mapped out very well this year. It's kind of a new thing for us. Now we have it all mapped out. And so you can kind of show up on Friday, show up on Saturday, show up on Sunday, whatever it is you want to do. We want to keep it as open and flexible as possible. Make it a social thing and not like a strict schedule or anything.
So I just remembered where that number.
Quick question from the crowd. We'll try to watch comments, but that's what Devin is for. He's our crowd control guy. So if we miss any questions, I apologize. But
I'll look through here while you're talking. Go ahead.
We got Hooter Hikes was wondering, when are you guys going to come up with a way to put logos on our Donnie? I don't. Hooter Hikes, explain to us what Donnie Matten is. Anybody know what the hell that is? All right, we'll wait for his reply.
I'm scared to ask.
Anybody. So yeah, where were we, Ben? Let's just go here since we got guests with us. Let's get there. Man, I don't want to put you on the spot.
Hold on, Rich, you need to get in here too. Rich, join the chat, buddy. Here's the link. And there's Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Hey guys.
Rich has a 7-year-old. He said that is out of control this time of evening. If you remember, well, you remember those days, Ben. So Jason, we'll just go around the room here with no pressure whatsoever. If you like suggestions, or more importantly, how awesome of time you had. Just a quick little, did you have a good time? I know it was amazing to meet everybody on the screen, with the exception of Brian. You guys I just met you, and you're already friends. But Jason, what do you like? And feel free to suggest things.
Yeah, no, for sure. The highlight was, definitely getting to meet everybody, to kind of, put faces to and personalities to you guys at Hilltops, and meeting Chad from UGQ was super cool. It was a great group. I think we all kind of hit it off. It was really fun chatting with everybody in the group. It's just, it was good, relaxed, chill time, kind of gleaning everybody's backgrounds and experiences and backpacking and outdoor, adventures. Was just a good time.
Yeah, agreed. Mickey, you're gonna go next, but if you wouldn't mind sharing at the end of that, if perhaps you had any type of a experience with a bowel movement on the hill, but save that for last. But start with what I said. Did you have a good time? Any suggestions other than perhaps a flushable toilet or a faster side by side to get you up the hill? You were one of the characters of the group. Your mic's muted, Mickey.
Oh, hold on. I got it.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Mickey. Sorry.
See, Ben already knows me. He's muting me. No, I loved it. Watching you guys, and it's funny because watching this industry, which I'm just so enthralled with, it's something I haven't done since I was 14 years old. Just meeting everybody. I think for me, it was like seeing the other small business owners, Jason, and everybody being in the patience with me was amazing. And I picked up a lot of things that you don't pick up when you watch all the videos, and the views, the interaction, and to see how solid this community is live and to do it with you guys first was cool for me. I was giddy the whole drive out until the grill on my daughter's car flew over the windshield, 10 miles before we get there.
Yeah.
But I've been talking about this trip the whole time. They're like, how many miles did you do? I'm like, well, those guys did about this. I drove in a Polaris, but I saw the Polaris and I'm like, I'm taking the Polaris. And, yeah, I got sick for a little bit. I don't know what that was about. Then as soon as I got my second wind, it was time to go to bed and get down the hill. And then I had to get to Pittsburgh. But
Fantastic.
I just listened to all the stories. It was just great. And I like the whole thing from getting this. So I geek out on that. So I grew up kind of in a manufacturing business. I'm in a manufacturing business. So. Everything from a sewing machine to Ben's rope winder thing or whatever. Yeah. I mean that, and then obviously Jason and what his stuff was absolutely fascinating to me. So I'm just trying to find a bike that will fit me. So.
I do like that in the picture. We put Jason and Mickey side by side, and in the picture it looks so ridiculous. Ridiculous.
My wife looked at that picture and she goes, "Did you hike?" And I'm like, "Because they got you kind of on the outside, and it looks like you're wearing one of those pads for the football players are wearing now over their helmets." And
1920 style helmet.
She goes, "You look really bizarre in that picture." And I'm like,
I didn't notice it because we were just doing a 10-second thing on the timer, so I didn't really pay attention. But looking back on the photo, it's hilarious.
And I started watching some of the videos from some of the guys there, and mossy grass guy on a rock. He's fucking hilarious.
Stone Dave. Yeah,
Stone Dave. Oh, and I fell in love with his name the night before when you were talking about him. Like anybody's name that's in past tense. Yeah.
He's one of the most fascinating dudes I ever met, and I think he was in there too. If you're not feeling shy tonight, come on, Dave. But
come on, Dave, join the group.
Yeah, Mickey, you are larger than life, both in stature and personality. So we loved having you, man. It's great to meet you, and I know we'll hang out again. Yeah,
I can't wait to go to Buckley Island.
Oh, it'll happen.
Yeah.
Don't associate that with any other islands in the news, by the way, just in case anybody read too deeply into what kind of world we live in where you got to be careful about using the word island now, especially if you're going to put your last name before it. So Buckley Island, to clarify, is not anything other than a backpacker island. All right, so Hooter Hikes said put logos on our Dyneema tarps. We'll cover that real quick. Yeah, bud. I
did have an idea for that. So this is probably against everything Ben said was like the little mats.
I'll just be Ben right now. Just no.
My trial mat, and we have a mat within a mat with that picture.
Yeah,
I thought it'd be cool is if you did a mat next, like hold it, bear with me, like a $35 to get there, right? You get something for that. You get the mat with the Hilltop logo in the middle, and then logos of all your friend companies and all the other things around it as kind of like the little take home. And then the $35, whatever, that's just a little, it helps with a little bit, maybe the water or something like that. And I think ask a couple of guys to underwrite a couple of things that are easy and not expensive.
I'm going to cut you off right there, Mickey, because damn, that was, first of all, a great idea. Second of all, Ben already talked about something along these lines, and that's validating for you to say, because that's what we're talking, rather than do big giveaways or try to entice people to come just for something for free. We want to make it about the experience and being social.
And put the year on it or something, because you guys can print it.
Yeah. If we make this into an annual or semi-annual thing, we're going to have something like that to offer, and at a decent price, like a t-shirt or maybe a trowel that's engraved. We'll offer some certain things. You can pre-order them, and then you can pick them up when you come to the gathering.
What we discussed is we want to make it something that you're definitely going to use, not something you're going to throw it away or
correct
someplace. Yeah.
Well, one of the other things that was kind
tassels on it.
Yeah. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for bringing that up.
When I went up, I was up there early, so I was just trying to unload the water and do all this other stuff. And Shane was going to build the fire pit. And somebody was talking about like that fire pit's going to be there forever now, right? I went over to try to help a little bit, not to be a slack jaw. And he kind of looked at me like, no, this is my thing. And it was funny to listen to everybody talk about like, all right, where we're going to hang this. Maybe like a little group give back, because Ben was talking about a different amount. Maybe we build a bear hang for him as a group.
That's a good idea.
on the next sale, because Ben was talking about, well, we're going to do this in the spring too. Like this give something a little bit different to kind of change it up, because he's got all that land out there. Just build him a beer hang it.
That's a good
Maybe
idea.
and not because I believe in selling everything. Like put a little player like the Hilltop crew or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
Adventure Club.
Yeah, everybody's there.
Nikki's on a roll tonight, Ben.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Sorry.
These are actually good ideas.
I wrote up
These are actually good ideas.
We're not used to that.
I do this in my world too. Well, it's
Yeah.
funny, when I was on Capitol Hill, they talked about like Duke Gingrich, if you remember him. And I was talking to this press guy. This is back when I was really young. And they're like, we have 2 filing. It was like, I'm thinking of Tim when he's talking about his ideas. He goes, well, we have 2 filing cabinets for Duke. His good ideas and his bad ideas. And they pointed to this little 2-drawer cabinet for his good ideas and a big like 4-drawer cabinet for his bad
That's about what it's like too.
That's the truth.
But-
yeah.
But I encourage the bad ideas. That's the thing. I want to hear every idea. You never know what's going to come out of it.
Well, it's like this like a little pop-up event. Like you're going to get a lot. Everybody likes to spend your money, right, Ben?
Yep.
Right, Jason? Everybody's good at spending your money. Yeah, you should. At one time, I wore a T-shirt down to our shore house because my sister-in-law's going to tell me what to
Mickey's
do.
Mickey's the guy that's using his Emmy speech time way too long.
It's fine. It's all good. It's all
I'm just kidding.
I'll cut him off.
No, he's all good. It's all good.
No,
It's good
we love
stuff.
you, buddy. I love the ideas too.
That's good
But where were you
That's a
going
good
before I
idea.
rudely cut you off, Mickey?
The bear hang thing, because I had talked to Shane about maybe dragging a toolbox up there as a bear box, but having the group build a bear hang might be a great idea.
I like that idea.
But yeah, that was a great event, and thank you, Ben, for putting it together. I described it to a couple of people. I said a bunch of strangers got together for an overnight hike, and community happened. And it was amazing to me how much I had in common with something in common with everybody there. So Jason and I are not far from one another, and I almost visited the shop today, but it was getting dark when I finished my ride, and I looked it up, and you closed at 5 today, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or I would have dropped in. And Mickey lives in Delco, and I'm a Delco native, and
Right on.
so there was something in common with just about everybody there, except that Chad guy. I don't, he was
Finding
a little
common ground with him is
strange.
tough. Yeah.
I love that
True
name.
story.
So
Wait, I'm going to go to your website. You're offering 60% off.
so we'll get to Chad and his
Yeah.
thanks for joining us, Chad. Good to see your face.
Yeah.
And Tim, we enjoyed having you again. I'm not blowing smoke up anybody's asses. It was as unique a group as you could ever ask for, but there was a lot of common ground found. But let's go back to new guy real quick so he gets his little 2 cents in. He came in and toured the shop. Uncle Gus had a
He
welcome
slept here.
mat made.
No, where'd you sleep at? You slept at a hotel.
Yeah, we went over to the Residency Inn right across the street.
Yeah.
So we've all slept inside Hilltop. It was Jason, Mickey, and Tim. Who
Yeah.
else?
Yeah.
I think Mike stayed there.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, I slept
No.
in the pack room where the magic happens. I
Nice.
just wanted to absorb that energy of all those sewing machines.
It'd be hard to sleep in that coffee roasting room. That thing smells good.
Yeah. The warmest room though. So did you enjoy your time, Brian? It was fun walking you around.
Yeah, it was a good time. We really enjoyed it. We enjoyed all the hospitality. Got a good free burger out of Ben, and the food truck for lunch, Troy's. So that was excellent. No, we had a really good time. It was fun watching you make I guess it was a welcome mat. He plans on using it as a flag. That was a neat process to watch, and the subject matter was questionable, but you did a great job nonetheless. But yeah, no, it was really cool. We had a great time.
So it was a spoof. It was Brian in a pair of fairy wings with like some AI background, which I think is something that I'd like to see more of. Just doing all the printing is people just making fun of their friends. I mean, there's nothing.
So that
there's
was
nothing
AI.
funnier than funny things. Yeah, the background was right,
I
Brian.
thought that was like Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, no, that was just a regular picture, but I call it AI. No, Yeah, that was a AI background, but no, the wings are unfortunately real. But no, yeah, we had a great time.
Chad, you were a great addition to the group. It was so nice to finally meet you in person. You weren't. I thought you were going to be a huge asshole, but it turns out I like you.
Yeah.
You don't have to read. You don't have to read. You like me. You like me.
I like the idea of you. I'm still trying.
This is why I like Chad. Yeah.
That's cool. You showed up, buddy. I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, it was no, we had a great time. I was especially excited when I found out I got to drive up there. That's what sealed the deal for me.
Yeah, and we talked to Shane. Like, there's a lot of properties, a whole nother section, just like the one we slept in. There's a whole nother field right next to us, so we can bring in more trucks if we want to. So you can have people that drive up, you can have people that walk up, whatever they want, but plenty of room. You know, he was guessing you could probably have 100 people up there, no problem. But I don't know where they're going to park at.
Right next to me.
There you go. Let's go back to Tim. You didn't get to interview Tim yet.
Who's interviewing me?
Tim and Tim.
Oh, Tim Bennett.
Yeah. The other Tim.
Tim, give us
Well, I jumped in there a little bit, and campfire conversation was great. And, I realized that I ate way too much because we were cooking hot dogs over the fire after everyone already ate like a backpacking meal. And I drank too much. I managed to carry a few beers up there, and lo and behold, there was beer.
Yeah, it didn't help those of us that brought our own beer to also get provided with more beer. But
yeah,
everybody behaved except for myself.
Great idea for the next time around, and if I say it here, it means I have to follow through on it. Is that I homebrew, and
you're definitely invited next year.
So you're bringing a keg. You're bringing a keg up in Chad's truck.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Or
Ben, will you throw a Stoned Apes comment up on screen?
Yeah, whenever Tim's done, I will.
Okay.
Yeah, Mickey can carry the keg up in his lap in the Polaris next time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I can I would be willing to brew something special and bring it out. It's been a long time since I've traveled with beer, but at least I wouldn't be going across any state lines because I'm in PA. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
I doubt you'll have many arguments against that idea. So that between you and Mickey, that's 3 legitimately decent ideas. So Ben, do you want to read that out loud, or Chad, do you want to read it?
Let's make Chad read
it. All I know is that being called a tool means that I can basically fix anything and do anything. I don't know why being a tool is a bad thing. That is the best thing you could possibly be.
Makes you useful.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you're not really paying much attention to derogatory terms and slang, but I mean, you do make a good point. That is one of the handier things when it comes to making stuff. Tools are one of the most important things to do it. That I always
all need them. They're all needed.
He was quite the tool Sunday morning when he got that fire up and going in about 2 minutes. When everyone was cold. That was awesome, man.
That was nice. I laid in my tent until I heard the fire start, and then I got up.
Yeah,
that's what I said. As soon as people hear the crackling, everybody will start flocking.
Yeah, nobody hates the guy that makes the morning fire. That's for damn sure. All right, Ben, where we at?
Let's talk about a spring event. So we definitely do something in the spring, and possibly still keep it here in our county, because I'm always trying to promote our little town here in our county we live in and operate in. So we may do something in the spring, but what month should we be looking at? Like April? Are we thinking April, Tim?
I think so.
I think one of the things you got to look at is, like, when we do events, is look at all the other stuff that's holidays, right? Stuff that you already know that's like a no-brainer.
Do it on Easter.
On Easter.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I used to do a New Year's Eve hike. Might even do it this year, but I like the holidays what better time to gather with a bunch of friends, as long as you can talk your families into doing it.
We skipped Easter this year and went to Great Wolf Lodge instead of doing Easter with the family. It was quite, it was surprising because I thought Great Wolf Lodge on Easter Sunday was going to be dead slow. No, it was
No.
absolutely flooded with people.
Well, because they give out Garnia for free there.
Well, there you
They
go.
give out what for free?
Garnia, because it's all the water.
Yeah, I
What's
drank
Gar-
plenty of it. So
Oh, Giardia. Your accent got me, Mick. Is that what you meant, right?
Well, every
Giardia.
time somebody says that name to me, I'm in a player, so I can hear over the wheels.
you got to say it like Bear Grylls.
So yeah, we'll do something in the spring, but I think we'll do something where there's a bit of a longer hike to get to it. So the fall, I think we'll keep it as like a social gathering, keep it short. It's under 2 miles to get there, or you can even drive up. But the spring one, I keep hearing something in the background. I think it's Mickey's TV. Just gonna pause that for a second. Anyway, in the springtime, we should do like a longer hike, even if it's like 5, 6, 7 miles, something a little bit longer, and just enjoy your time out there. And any thoughts, Tim, where you might want to go? Do you want to try to stay on his property out there? Do you want to do something different?
I mean, I'm up for anything. You know, we can talk more in detail about it, but maybe just something as close as Quebec Run, which would kind of bring the Jasons and the Tims of the world closer. It's easy hiking, a lot of camping. We have to look into the regulations, or we could potentially, if we jumped on it early enough, reserve like a bunch of the shelters at like LA or the Laurel Highlands hiking trail. Something like that, or Ryerson. If we want to do more of if we want to keep it social, and we want to combine hiking and still allow Chad and Mickey and people to come and do car camping, we could do like Ryerson State Park, which is pretty close.
Ryerson's nice because you can car camp, you can tent camp, and then there's tons of trails you can still hike, all day long, like the second day. But the problem with a lot of the state parks, state trails, 10 people I think is like the max on most of those trails. You can't really have a group larger than 10 people, so we'll try to respect that.
Yeah, we'll look into like some of those regulations, and maybe just do a trip where the first 10 people to sign up can go to, and maybe do a second trip in May or in the summer when we're at Ryerson. Another thing about I don't know about PA, but Tim wouldn't be able to bring his home brew into a state park, would he? Or do they allow that here?
Yeah, I don't think so.
They don't. Yeah.
No. So maybe
wouldn't be the
Shane's
first time
property
I
is the
brought
best
beer, but
idea.
yeah.
Oh,
Probably.
yeah. We all bend the rules, but as a group, we went, those group things are tough. For example, we do this Kentucky gathering, and I don't know what the group rules are there, but it's a national forest, so they're pretty loose, but it got really big one year, and one of the YouTubers that organized it literally like put signs up along the trail, like YouTube gathering this way. And there was a few of us that were real worried about, like, this is kind of tacky. We're going to get ourselves in some trouble. And it just doesn't feel good when you think you have to look over your shoulder the whole time because you're breaking the rules. So yeah, we'll look into some details, but we all talk. So we'll keep everybody updated on the Facebook page.
But if anybody is not a member of our little adventure group, make sure you join in there. We're going to post a bunch of group hikes, even just smaller ones throughout the year. But the fall one is going to be October 23rd, 24th, and 25th. That'll be Hilltop Hacks on the Hill. Same location, same place. We're going to do it over 3 days, 2 nights. And we're going to skip the whole open house at Hilltop on Friday. But we'll leave the shop open on Sunday on the way out. If you guys want to stop by, they can check it out.
Yeah. Stoned Ape, he brought up Minister Creek, which is up in the Allegheny Bend. It's north of Pittsburgh. He said there's a huge campsite, but he's a steward of the land. So Stoned Ape, chime in on those comments. Are there rules that you know of? Hey, Derwin, Hike with Mike, welcome. So yeah, go ahead, Ben. Where are we at now on the docket?
So we've talked a lot about this. We really want to keep it a social event. We've talked about like events and things we could do throughout the day. I have a lot of friends that teach stuff. I have a guy who teaches like maps and compasses. We could maybe do like little stations. We do something like that. And that might be easier than trying to organize some game or giveaway. I think does that sound like a good idea to you guys? Like having little stations we could learn something or pick up some information. We're just trying to figure out what else should we add to this event, or maybe to add nothing and just leave it a social event altogether. Your thoughts as a group. Tim, what do you think? Other Tim.
I guess I'm the other Tim. The social part worked really well right out of the gate. Just climbing up that hill, through those open fields, and teamwork getting over the gates, making sure nobody stepped in the cow patties. it worked really well. Do you want to over-engineer it? I mean, I don't object to stations and if there's something people want to learn. Now, we'd also have more time because you're talking an extra night. So maybe you throw something like that in there.
You basically just proved my point. We had a meeting earlier today. That's kind of what I talked about. I want to keep it a social thing and not overthink it with a bunch of games and contests and stuff like that. And it'd be really hard to communicate to everybody unless we had a big PA system. And now we're kind of taking away from what this is for us anyway, is a getaway. We don't want a bunch of music and sound. And again, I'm not against somebody singing one day on a stage. We have whatever it is. But don't overthink it. I'm going to keep it pretty simple and keep it social.
The more components, somebody does events all the time, the more components you put in there, the more they trickle out. You think, okay, I got this, I have this. There's other things that need to help support that. So it's the more layers you put there, the more, especially because the more people you get, it's hurting cats.
Yeah.
It's especially when it's basically a church picnic where nobody knows each other, and which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, and I like the fact that me and Tim got to hang out and just chat. We didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to work. We didn't have to have games. We actually got to enjoy it just like you guys did. And I kind of want to selfishly keep it that way, where we're not up there trying to sell something or do something or promote something. We're there to have a good time like everybody else. And I really enjoyed that part of it. I got to kick back and let Chad talk about his business for a while. That was fun.
I definitely was not trying to sell anything at all.
But if
it sells itself, Chad.
You got to keep those pesky vendors out of the events. They're always trying to sell you stuff.
Bullshit.
No, I enjoyed listening to you talk about your business. I really did. That's I like that.
Yeah.
That's something you could do at camp. Is you could have a little contest of best homemade trail food and have a little pre-printed stuff sack for the trophy.
It's a good idea.
But I really enjoyed the event at the coffee house. Of course, I didn't get to make it to the camp, but just the being in the environment, having some cups of coffee, and getting to meet everybody before you go off and camp in the woods with them. That was kind of nice.
That is something that I really enjoyed. That I'm sad that probably won't be a part of it next year, because if you're obviously you guys weren't here, but we had an open house at Hilltop, and then we did a little thing at our coffee shop called RGB Coffee. We had an entertainment, we had coffee, we had ice cream and food, we had a food truck. I really enjoyed that part too. That part will sadly probably go away. It'll be open on Sunday when you're done if you want to swing by, but I don't know how we can keep incorporating that and still have it 3 days. I just don't think that would really work. I think people would rather hike than hang out in a coffee shop. I know I'd like to do both, but if you're going to drive all the way here 6 hours, 7 hours, you probably want to be out in the woods.
I think you should definitely have an RGB coffee station set up there, though.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Or just bring drip coffee and
I was offering to make
extra.
forwards for everybody. Nobody wanted one. I offered to make a couple of them. Nobody took me up on it.
I think that there's, not to get religious, but you got Father Mike, and you don't have to be religious, but just the ceremonial thing of it is having Los Padres or just Father Mike there, the blessing of the packs.
Oh yeah.
Before everybody takes off or something like that. Just something, it's more of a spiritual, like whatever. Like there's actually Saint Bernard was the first guy. Now they got this other Saint PG Fasada, but they actually in those churches they bless the packs before they get on the Appalachian Trail or do it whatever. And it's more ceremony, cafeteria Catholic. You don't have to be whatever, but I don't know. That's my own.
No, I like
it. It could be an
we
optional too. I mean, if you're not comfortable with it, Father Mike could be the first one to be like, he's not going to be offended by that. So not a bad idea.
And he can't, obviously he works on Sunday, so he can't be there Sunday, but he could be there Friday and Saturday. We can tell
those guys only work 60 minutes on Sunday. He's good.
He jokes about that all the time, but then you look at his schedule. His schedule is insane. Like he does a lot of stuff throughout the week, which I had no idea. But for like the years that I've known him, he always talked about I only work 1 day a week. That's what he would say to me until I saw his schedule. He works.
They're on call. They're on call 24 hours.
Yeah. He's very, very busy. He's a good dude.
Well, on Sunday, I could see Tim wearing the collar, and I saw something where you were like in a formal suit recently. That's a priest collar on, and you could give the blessing.
I own no such thing, Mr. Bennett. That's AI all the way.
I'll give you the ashes from the fireplace.
Yeah. When I went to the dirtbag world, started not caring about my personal hygiene and such. All the ties went in the dumpster. I have a couple shirts with collars on it. But Ben and I always joke. He comes into the collar. I'm like, Got a meeting today, huh, Ben? Big important meeting.
He calls it fancy shirt day. If I wear any kind of shirt with a collar on it, if I have meetings or something, he says it's fancy shirt day. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah. What are you doing?
I
Excuse me.
wear a collar to thin out my jowls.
I didn't know
Okay.
that was a thing, but yeah, fashion tips from Mickey.
So we got 5 or so minutes left. Just talk to Chad. So Chad, you've done more events than I have as far as the outdoor space, and you even helped start one. What do you think we should do next year? Like, what direction should we go? Should we have more events, less events, or same thing? I guess you can have less events. We didn't have
I kind of view it the same way I do policies. I don't think you really need to think too much into it until there's a need to. You know, events like this, I think, in my opinion, do best when they're left to kind of evolve naturally, especially because it just started. I think, this year was a good learning experience of, kind of how we get people out there. Now it's kind of established. Next year it'll, ramp up a little bit. And I think as it goes, you'll see that there'll be a need for, hey, we need to set this up or we need to do this next year, and kind of just let it do its thing.
I like that.
That's it.
I was just typing something out to the commenters, but yeah, Chad, your insight's good because you do a big old Machilligan. But those of you out there that are coming from long distances, Booper, Greg Morton, Loafer, I'm not sure where Loafer's from, but anybody that would come from a long ways, I would use some of my vacation time gladly to extend, maybe do a 3-day backpacking trip before or after, if anybody were to come from like Boop's in Minnesota, Greg's in Colorado, I believe. But that would stand for anybody.
Make sure you stay in the Super 8 there in Waynesburg.
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to talk microwave from literally 1992, Chad. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, go Ben.
I didn't get to hear the whole story, so I want you to walk me through who booked the hotel and when you walked through the front door. I didn't hear any of the story. I saw a picture of the microwave. That was pretty much it. But go ahead.
So last time I came, we stayed in the micro hotel there in Waynesburg, which was awesome, super nice hotel. And this year we kind of decided last minute to come, and so when I was looking for hotels, I was on Expedia and found Super 8, and it was rated like 8.2 stars, and the price was fine, so I just booked it, like not thinking anything of it, because it's like one night we're going to stay there. And when we get there, it was probably the worst hotel I've ever seen in my life from the start. And it took us like 25 minutes to check in. And the guy was like literally just pushing buttons, looking at his security screen, walked away, came back. I mean, it was the most bizarre experience. So we get to the room and there's no elevator in this hotel, and we're on the 3rd floor. And I have to have multiple hip replacements and potential back surgery. And me and stairs just don't get along, or hiking for that matter. And so we get up to the room and didn't look at all like the pictures by any means. And there was some a piece of somebody's earring on Brittany's nightstand, and I looked over at the mini fridge and I saw this contraption sitting on top of it. And I honestly, it took me a second to even recognize what it was, but it was literally a microwave from 1992. I took a picture of the back of it because I was so shocked. I mean, I had like the old school TVs that you had to like turn the dials and stuff. I mean, I'm a millennial. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. So needless to say, we leave the hotel to go to RGB to hang out. And Brittany's kind of just in a panic because she really does not want to stay there like at all. And your wife actually stopped and talked to us and genuinely felt bad for us that we were staying in the Super 8. And so we ended up booking the last room available at the Hampton for like another $400 just to stay one night, which was super great. But yeah, the Super 8 was quite awful.
So I had the luxury of spending a couple nights there when I first came to Waynesburg, as a matter of fact, and I slept there, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And what blows my mind beyond the microwave is that the cheapest hotel in Waynesburg was $400. The cheapest decent hotel, I should say. Like that's absurd. It's not like it's not like the Rolling Stones were in town or anything.
I sold like 2 quilts at breakfast the next morning, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Paid for it.
Residency Inn, man. Y'all missed it. That place was $50 a night.
Listen,
it was really clean.
They just remodeled that place. It looks nice.
I was gonna book it. But Brittany was concerned that the only size bed was a double bed, and because of my problems, I toss and turn so violently at night
Yeah.
that she was like,
What-
"Well, we can't sleep on that size bed." Blah blah blah. And
It was pretty busy. We booked it a few weeks early, but it was kind of weird because check in, you just make a phone call and they give you the key to your door, the key code. So you actually punch in key codes on these doors. So I was a little bit worried when I was going up there. I actually texted Ben, was like, "Hey man, is this place okay?" Or
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
had I actually called our tourism office just to make sure. I was like, hey, I've never known anybody to stay there yet. Is this place okay? And they're like, yeah, they just fixed it up. It looks nice.
it was only
So
$53 a night. It was a little too cheap, and then you got to call and get a door code. It all sounded weird, but it was really decent. It was very clean. It was very nice. It's older, but they've just remodeled it, so everything's really fresh. It was really good for
yeah,
the price.
I'm pretty sure we spent like $700 total on hotel rooms for
I
that
had two.
night.
I had two
So,
nights. I think my total was like $113.
Man.
Yeah, I
well,
would have been a little nervous when the
Now
code
you
was
know.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
That's just me.
1111. Yeah, Chad, you got to fight with Travelocity or whatever. Get your money back for that. That's total horse shit. But we won't get on an
Yeah.
old man argument about hotel prices. I'm going on a tangent. We're running out of time, Ben. What do we got? How do we wrap this show up with a bow?
So
you
just
got?
set your calendar for next year. We're going to start putting an event page together here pretty soon about next year's event. I want to really hit the ground running first of the year, start promoting this thing, and then do something in the spring. I don't know what yet in the spring yet. But we'll figure that one out as we kind of go. But guys, thank you so much for joining in tonight in the chat, and everybody here. Chad showed up. That was pretty cool at the event. I appreciate you showing up, Tim.
Yeah.
Brian showed up for a little bit until Uncle Gus crapped everywhere. Of course, Mickey. Let's see. What we've got. Is there any comments we should address over here? Let me take a look. What's this one say? What is that, Tim? Do you know what that is?
Oh, that is Pilgrim. Is that Bill or? I'll talk to you about that. I'll just say this for everybody out there. There were some amazing ideas pitched, but some are just not for Hilltop. And I think this is the one we talked about where it was, think of it like an on-off valve for your coupler for if you're doing a gravity feed.
Oh, if you
And I
just
think-
loosen up your screw, that leaves the pressure there. You're good.
I think there's some merit to the idea. I just don't know if we'll ever do anything that complicated here because
Well,
everything we do is trying to make backpacking simpler for simpletons like Ben and I who don't know our head from our
But
ass.
they're
when it
actually-
comes to tying knots.
What he's talking about, if you're talking about like having like a camp set up and you're going to set up a water, water filtration setup for like maybe a camp, you're going to be there for a few days. There actually are setups where you get like a hose, the clamp, and does kind of shut off the water. That kind of setup does work pretty well. But putting a valve on that coupler, I'm not sure if that works, but they make them for a tube, like a little pinch off thing,
Yeah.
which does work pretty well. But
Like an
That's
IV
something.
clamp.
yeah, exactly like that. But not something that we would use like a regular backpacking trip. But for like a camp setup for a couple of days, like a base camp kind of setup or a group camp setup, that would actually be pretty helpful. But it already exists, so I don't think I'll make one.
Yeah.
Let's see. What did Chad put in here?
Ooh.
So Chad, I don't know if you heard us giving you credit. We're thinking about not doing, the discount thing this year because if we do, we may have to raise prices. But if I don't do that, we won't have to raise prices for a while. So we have you to thank for that.
Your post
well,
today
if
was
you go
good
out of
too,
business, though, don't thank me for that because that's not my fault.
Thanks,
Yep.
Chad.
I'm gonna come work for you.
The
You
consumer
can go
stuff.
out of business
luck.
with the race to the bottom, though, too.
Yeah.
No, we're
There's
good.
a
We're
lot
not
of
going.
gambling involved.
Here's the thing: we talk a lot, and Tim knows I lay everything out there. We're not going to business anytime soon. Like business is still good. It's just profit margins are kind of screwy, and it's my job to kind of manage all that. So sales are a little screwy. Chad could even probably attest to that too. But we're not anywhere near like being out of business. So,
We've had amazing support since we've kind of started on this journey. I was just actually checking before I got on here. We're up 112% from where we were last month this time. So
Bravo.
October was a super bizarre month, but really kind of leaning into the shift that we're making as a company has proven to be a lot more valuable to us all the way around and to our customers. So we've been super excited about that turnaround. Hopefully it stays that way, but I think the message is really important, and I think people are really starting to resonate with the idea behind getting back to what really matters. And the world was so crazy for the last 5 years that we're now kind of getting back to somewhat level of normalcy, and we got to kind of really shift the emphasis where it should be and shine the light back on the darkness that is now what I would describe as the outdoor cottage industry.
Yeah.
No,
Well
the
said.
way you played your whole marketing campaign, I know it's a marketing campaign. However, it was worded really well and it was inspiring to read. And I was kind of jealous that you thought of it and I didn't think of it. But the email was great. The posts you did were great. You definitely struck a nerve with us and making us really think how we're doing things too. So I think that's the shift that has to happen. But just being open with your audience, being honest with your audience, being honest with your customers goes a long way. A lot of customers close themselves off to their. I mean, a lot of businesses close themselves off to the customers and don't open up that line of communication like you've been doing, and like I think we do as well, and it's helpful.
Yeah, well, I think you inspired me to be more vulnerable and open with our customers because it's easy to be very nervous about putting yourself out there because of, you know, potential backlash of the way that people perceive something or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, like there's not sustainability if we kept going the way that we were going. So it was time for a shift and time for us to kind of wear it out on our sleeves and really kind of show what's happening in the cottage industry. And you know, like I said, I think the support's there, and I think the more that we spread the awareness and the more companies, you know, really start to slowly make that shift, I think we'll see a huge upturn in what we're doing, which is creating handmade custom gear that you know, I think everybody can benefit from. So
Good, man. I think it gives us a better chance to keep telling our story versus trying to have a sale all the time. And I'm looking forward to a shift instead of whatever's been going on. But anyway, that's enough for tonight. I think we'll leave it right there. Mickey, let's go around the horn real quick again. You guys can all tell everybody where they can find you. Mickey, you can talk about your business again real quick. And let me turn your microphone back on. And Mickey, you go first. Where can people find you at your business? Give yourself a shout out.
Oh, thanks. I know. All Saint Cigars, and we're trailhead friendly, and you know, yeah, All Saint Cigars. Everything's All Saint Cigars. Mickey Peg, MICKY, no E, PEGG.
Good deal. New guy.
We love you, Mickey. New guy.
All right. I'm at fairywings.com. No, Brian Winburn on Facebook and Instagram.
Are you offering discounts by any chance on fairywings.com, or are you going with the chat approach too?
I'm going with the 11% off.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
bad.
11.
Well, your industry is booming though, so that's a little different.
A lot of wingers out there.
Yeah, a lot of wingers. All right, thanks, Brian. It's good to see you, bud. Tim's
writing a book too, so don't forget.
Yeah, I'm reading a book. So if you want to find anything I've written, I over 2022 and 2023, I did probably about 25 blog posts on the trek. But now I'm working on a book, so that might look for that next year. It's a backpacking book, so it's and Ben's inspired me to see what I did wrong after getting a look at his book and how to fix all those things.
Don't look too hard.
Yeah.
Well, after
so,
getting to know you, Tim, I will 100% buy your book. I think you just hearing your life story and what you've done and what you've accomplished, I'm super pumped for it. So count me in for sure.
well,
Yeah,
cool.
I gotta pair it to what Chad said real quick, Tim. First of all, I read a bunch of your blogs, and you're an amazing writer, like 10 times the writer that Ben is. And
Agreed. I'm not.
But I feel ashamed that I didn't connect the dots. You said the trek over and over again, and for those of you that don't know, this is not a small time publication. So Tim's the real deal. But yeah, just I have nothing but good things to say about everybody that came to that whole event. And
Exactly.
one quick little nod before I say my goodbye, Chad, is what you've said has really resonated. I know with Ben for sure, but even the thing you wrote today, like, man, it's just like, I don't get super excited or emotional about stuff, but it's almost like one of those fist pumping moments where it's like, hell yes, this is the direction people in our industry need to go. And I really just love that you touch on all the things that make such total sense. And hopefully people will like realize is somebody's making this shit for you. You know, this is an old time thing. If you want craftsmanship and you want to like be connected, man, you pointed out really great. And that's the end of my ass kissing of Chad. But I love what you did, man. I really appreciate it.
Well, real quick, just to add it in real quick. I mean, again, it's not just that we're trying to keep all the money and we want to like not give you discounts. It's allowing us to not keep raising prices. It's allows us to set a price that makes us operational. That allows us to hire somebody and keep that
not
person
lay
employed.
people off. Yeah.
So it makes it a little more sustainable instead of having to like, okay, this date's coming up, I have to do it. It's a sale this weekend. I know I'm not going to make any money. We're going to work for free for 3 weeks to fulfill all the orders, but hopefully those customers come back and it's good exposure. It's a whole thing that doesn't need to really be there. That like Mickey keeps saying, we're racing to the bottom, and that's really what we've been doing. And now with shrinking profit margins, it's time to make that shift. And Chad, has inspired me to kind of really think about that. And I'm 99% sure we're going to go a different direction with that. That's all.
Amen.
Yeah.
Chad, why don't you lead us out? Any final words, sir?
Yeah. Tell us when your next sale is.
So in lieu of a sale this year on Black Friday, we're going to do a limited drop over on UGQ Limited for a new product. So we're going to do a limited run of those in lieu of a sale this year. You'll have to just stick around and wait and find out what that is. But we're gonna keep trying different ways of running the business and getting away from sales culture and making things even more unique and even more exclusive. So stay tuned.
Yeah, just and backtrack one. We do have a bargain bin. We are still doing like individual sell items. We're just not doing site-wide sales anymore. That just murders us. But we have plenty of gear that Tim's messed up, and we're gonna sell it for dirt cheap.
Tassels for everybody.
Tassels for everybody. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We'll do this again next week. We're going to take a break in December, but we'll do this until the end of the month, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday night. Later.
Thanks, guys.